Hey there, viewers. Welcome to our channel, where we explore shocking and unbelievable real-life stories. Today, we're diving into a really intense topic: killers who showed absolutely no regret in court. Make sure you hit subscribe and ring that bell to join us on more thrilling investigations. Ever seen someone who did something terrible but didn't feel sorry at all? That's exactly what we're talking about today. These stories are not just scary, they make you think about what makes people do such things. So, let's find out. Number 4. Tommy Lynn Sells. Our first story takes us into the chilling world of Tommy Lynn Sells, a name that struck fear across the United States. Sells was a convicted serial killer, responsible for numerous brutal crimes over 2 decades. But what stood out the most was his reaction in court: cold, emotionless, and deeply unsettling. Picture this: courtroom filled with grieving families, and there sat Tommy, his face showing no emotion, no remorse. It was as if he was disconnected from the gravity of his actions, almost like he was somewhere else. And as the trial progressed, this lack of emotion became more and more apparent. Let's take a moment to talk about one of his known crimes, without going into too much detail. In one instance, Sells broke into a home and committed a horrific act of violence. The details of this crime were gruesome, yet when they were recounted in court, Sells' reaction was chillingly blank. It's this reaction that left everyone, from the jury to the families, in a state of shock and disbelief. Tommy Lynn Sells' case is not just a story of a serial killer. It's a glimpse into a mind devoid of empathy, a reminder of how deeply disturbing the human psyche can be. His demeanor in court was a silent testament to the absence of humanity in some of the most dangerous individuals in our society. Number 3. Michael Swanson. Our next story is about Michael Swanson, a teenager whose actions shocked a nation. At the young age of 17, Swanson committed crimes that are hard to comprehend, and his reaction in court was equally disturbing. In November 2010, Swanson made a fateful decision that changed many lives forever. He committed not just one, but 2 murders in cold blood. In the courtroom, everyone expected maybe a sign of regret or a hint of sorrow from the teenager. But what they saw was the complete opposite. As the charges were read against him, Swanson displayed a behavior that left the courtroom in disbelief. He was smiling, not a nervous smile, but one that showed a disturbing level of detachment from his heinous actions. This wasn't just a fleeting moment. Throughout his trial, Swanson's unsettling smirks and laughter continued. It's like he was completely unaware or didn't care about the gravity of his actions. This reaction wasn't just alarming. It was a rare glimpse into a troubled and possibly disturbed mind. Michael Swanson's case serves as a chilling reminder of the unpredictable nature of crime and the complex issues surrounding youth offenders. His remorseless demeanor in court forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about young minds and criminal behavior. As we leave the unsettling case of Michael Swanson behind, our journey into the minds of remorseless killers continues. Stay with us as we uncover more chilling stories. Number 2. William MacDonald. Our journey now brings us to a case that still haunts the memories of many in Australia. We're talking about William MacDonald, infamously known as the Sydney Mutilator. His crimes were gruesome, but it was his courtroom demeanor that truly revealed the darkness within. He targeted men in Sydney, leading to a state of panic across the city. His arrest brought some relief, but his trial brought a different kind of horror. In court, MacDonald presented a chilling figure. Unlike many criminals who show some level of remorse or at least a sense of realization, MacDonald seemed almost detached, if not proud, of his notoriety. His demeanor was not that of a man burdened by guilt, but rather someone who seemed to relish the attention his heinous acts had brought him. Observers reported that MacDonald occasionally smiled when details of his crimes were discussed. It was a smile that many described as haunting, a stark contrast to the severity and gravity of his actions. This behavior posed a troubling question. What drives a person to not only commit such acts but also display a complete lack of remorse? The Sydney mutilator remains a symbol of the darkness that can lurk within. Donald's courtroom behavior, the eerie smiles, and the apparent pride in his infamy serves as a chilling reminder of the depths to which human nature can descend. Number 1. Thomas Michael T.J. Lane. Our final story is about Thomas Michael T.J. Lane, whose actions at Chardon High School in 2012 are etched in tragedy, but it's his courtroom behavior that left an indelible mark of shock and disbelief. In a senseless act, Lane took the lives of 3 students at Chardon High School, changing the lives of many forever. His trial was a focal point for a community seeking closure. During his sentencing, Lane's behavior was startling. He wore a killer shirt, openly mocking the gravity of the situation. His smirks and a disturbing song-like statement showed a jarring lack of empathy, leaving the courtroom in stunned silence. Lane's actions in court challenged our notions of remorse and human decency. His demeanor was a harsh reminder of how deep indifference can run, especially in cases of such tragic violence. So what do you think after hearing all these stories? It's hard to believe that some people can do such things and not feel bad about them. These stories are a reminder that sometimes people can do things that are really hard to understand. Thanks for watching this deep dive into some really intense true crime stories. If you found this interesting, hit like and share this video. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories like these. Stay safe and keep exploring these mysteries with us. See you next time.